Okay, so please watch. So basically, it talks about watching the videos, and then it has this rule here. And so that's kind of a funny looking rule. Let me help with that rule. Let me give a real life example. What if we had x squared times x cubed? I think we've already talked about that. That means two x's, right? X squared means two x's, and x cubed means three x's. So altogether you have five x's. Great, got it. Now let me ask, what if you had x squared to the third? That's a little different, isn't it? See how this is two separate x's to different powers. You add the powers, don't you? This ended up adding. Whereas here we have one x, not two different x's, but only one x to two different powers. How does that work? Well, let's think about what a little number in the upper right-hand corner means. It means repeat, right? So doesn't this equal x squared, x squared, x squared, because there's three of them, right? You agree? That's what the three means. And then each of these is two x's because it's x squared. And so how many x's do we have altogether? Six of them. So what's the rule? What do you do with the two and the three? You don't add them. It's not five. You what? You times them, don't you? Do you see that difference then? So if you have two separate x's that each have their own power, you add them because that's just the truth. Two x's and three x's is five x's. But if you have only one x and it's got powers inside and outside of parentheses on only one x, not two x's, you multiply those powers. Why? Because that's what's true. It means three of them, and each of those means two. So it's three groups of two. It's six. So the rule we see is powers outside parentheses multiply powers inside parentheses, don't they? Okay. So now let's use that and do it. So here we have this. What's it going to be? You're going to multiply those powers. So it's going to be y to the c times d, or you can just write cd, because when you put c and d next to each other with no symbol in the middle, it means times, doesn't it? And this one's going to be w to the 24, because I did 4 times 6. And this is going to be 2 to the 5 times 3, 15.
Mr. Heron?
Yeah.
I have a quick question. So I did this one already, and so is there? I did W. Say that I had your question. I did W4 and then the multiplication symbol times 6, and I got it right. So is W4 the way that you would have us do it, or?
Yeah, like either way is fine. Yeah, you could actually make it 24 or just leave it 4 times 6, it sounds like.
Okay. I just want to know for like the tests and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good either way. Good either way. And then this one down here, now this one is actually this rule up here, isn't it? Two separate 2s. So you add the power, it's going to be 2 to the 8th, isn't it? Everybody see that? So that one's different. You add the powers, you don't multiply them. So everybody seeing those two different rules? This making sense? So these three are all this rule. And the one at the bottom, because see how it's two separate 2s. So you add the powers. Where all these three have only one base, you multiply the powers. So that's the difference. There we go.